Alabama Supreme Court ruled Friday frozen embryos are children and someone can be held liable for destroying them. It is a decision that reproductive rights advocates say could imperil an IVF, which affects the hundreds of thousands of patients who depend on treatments like each year.
All right, so this is the first of its kind ruling. It comes as at least 11 states have broadly defined personhood as beginning at fertilization in their state laws. Queen City News chief legal analyst right now, Khalif Rhodes, joins us. Now, Khalif, the court ruled that the fertilized eggs have the same protection as babies under the Wrongful Death of a Minor Act. So explain all that to us, because I also want to clarify this. We're talking about embryos, which an embryo is an egg and a sperm together. So
I love that clarification. I mean, the law creates a cause of action for a person's negligent act, their omission, their wrongful act. And in the narrow question, this came right down to a narrow question, and all 8 of the 9 justices in the court down there decided that they did not believe that there was an exception. It wanted to know that, was there an exception at being a born child or an unborn child? And that was a very, very unique ruling by the court down there. But it opened the door for this case, which was the parents had given their embryos to a facility, and another patient in the facility went into the refrigerator, opened up or I should say the cryogenic facility, opened up the item and dropped their embryos on the floor. Well, if they're not kept at the right temperature, they will slowly begin to die, and that's what happened in this case. And so they wanted to sue. The lower court said you cannot sue because those embryos are not a living person and don't have personhood, as you just mentioned in the opening. And the Supreme Court there said, well, actually, wait, the law, the wrongful death of a child act in this state does protect embryos, and so that opened the door for potential litigation down the road.
So yeah, you're looking forward too. Could this historic ruling, though, impact the future of IVF treatments for those trying to access fertility?
That's what the opponents of this court's ruling has said. It says now, who's going to make sure that they keep proper protocols for this? I mean, the amplifications of this type of ruling will have echoing effects for years to come, specifically because no one has ever been put in that situation to look at an embryo as an actual human being. And so now you're saying you have to protect it at ways that never have been done before. I mean, you're talking about wrongful death for dropping something on the floor. I don't think that was what it was intended when this law that they cited, which was from 1872, was drafted, was intended to try and to protect. I don't even think they were contemplating embryos at that time. They were just contemplating minor children.
And there's so much with this. I mean, there's so much to discuss, because so many families who go through the IVF process, you might have 3 or 4, even 5 embryos left over, you know, for the fact that if you try one or if it doesn't test well after it's frozen, you have a kind of a backup. And so now for you to have this be the ruling, it's like, then how do you discard those if they are considered now in this broader definition? The question I have for you is, though, what stood out to you in this particular ruling?
The merger of where it seems like there are a lot more intertwining of things. This one had a lot of church and state arguments that you would typically not see in the court opinions. And I know they pulled it right from the Constitution of their state, but I have to read this. It says that the wrongful death of a minor act is sweeping and unqualified. It applies to all children, both born and unborn, without limitations. And it's not for us to decide with our view what the public doesn't agree with. But they says that each person was made in God's image, meaning life is incalculable, valuable, and cannot be wrongfully destroyed without incurring the wrath of the holy God. This is opening a number of different avenues, specifically because there's a separation of church and state. We don't have a state religion in this country. And so when you add that type of language within your ruling, it has a lot of undertones that speak to other individuals that may not have the same faith as you. And so there are a number of divided conversations that could go from there. But most of the legal community has talked about that portion being included within the opinion, because it's something that wasn't needed. If you had the opinion of 8 of the 9 justices, you could have just stood on your rationale. But that was something that was more attacking abortion than anything.
Yeah, it opens it up to a lot more court cases coming down the road for a lot of other states, and even a higher court. But also a lot of people that live there, the women that live there, and also the clinics that live there, are scrambling now what to do going forward.
They're going to be scrambling, and the cost is going to skyrocket for something that's already expensive.
Well, my question is, how did the patient get in the area of where the embryos are in the first place?
Somebody wasn't doing their job, for sure.
That seems like a patient shouldn't be opening the door to the freezer, but that's another conversation. Khalif, thank you so much. Appreciate it.